We got to the doctor's office and the nurse called the doctor in and my wife's blood pressure was really high. And the next thing you know, there's probably 9 doctors in the room and saying, "You're gonna have this baby tomorrow." They said, you need to go right to the hospital. So I actually went outside to call my parents and tell them. And the silence from my parents scared me.
Nobody expects to have a preterm infant. Nobody expects to have a sick child. And we see that in the hospital walls, and people need help. And sometimes there just aren't the resources. The stories are heart-wrenching.
If you might be a little anxious because you're a first-time mom and you're nervous about your going back to work and all of that thing, then you throw in the NICU to that. It's just the NICU takes what should be ordinary mental health and it puts it on steroids.
The doctors there, they can't say, "Oh, your child's gonna make it." They have to tell you, the realization of what may or may not happen. But as a parent, hearing those things, it was devastating. My everyday life, just being there, turned upside down.
Probably the toughest part for me was to lay awake at night knowing that your child's in a hospital and you're not there.
I think in the beginning, especially, parents are so concerned about the baby, their focus and all their attention is on the baby, that they don't realize that they themselves need attention.
There are crises with mental health, and new moms that are going through really challenging times with sick babies, they're no different. We know what they need in that moment is another parent who is a peer support for them. And first and foremost, that's what Tiny Miracles does. And we have picked up the phone on a weekend at night, during a crisis, and someone has swooped in. It just allows the parents to get that support that they need when they sometimes have nowhere else to turn.
The NICU journey is very difficult for parents, but that doesn't end when they go home. And the Tiny Miracle supports that you have, like the after the NICU support, offer a continued sense of connection.
When I first got home from the NICU, and it was about 10 p.m. at night, and I didn't know what to do, and I just thought, you know what, I'm just gonna call Lily. And I called her, and she just literally talked to me until I was able to go back upstairs. I was done crying. I had gotten the support I needed, and I was able to go back upstairs and take care of my baby.
Tiny Miracles is the most helpful thing, I think, that I can provide for parents. The second that they connect with someone who's been in their shoes, their sense of being understood and being known and being seen, it calms them down tremendously.
We also help them with financial aid. Relieving of stress of a major expense takes away so much anxiety for a family that deserves to dedicate their heart and head to their family and their newborn baby. I see families that don't come to the NICU because they can't get here every single day, and the financial assistance is extraordinary. It's also quite unprecedented. The level of support that Tiny Miracles provides to our NICU families, when I describe it to colleagues who work in other neonatology systems, they are astonished.
When Tiny Miracles first came to us, or me, I was alone. And it was 24 hours after Isla was born, because I hadn't even seen her yet. And this woman comes in and she's got her purple bag with her. And I started speaking to her and she told me who she was. And we were having a conversation about going down to see Isla because I hadn't seen her. And I felt like I needed to bring something to her and I did not have anything to bring to her. You're going to see your child for the first time and I wanted to bring something. And she pulls out this doll. And it was the most amazing gift I had ever received because she knew what the moms and the families are going through and what those babies need and what those moms need for their baby. And that doll meant everything to me. And I brought it down to Isla and I had this thing to give her. And I will be forever grateful to Tiny Miracles Foundation for that gift.
If it wasn't for Tiny Miracles, I honestly don't know where I would be as a parent.
I think having the Tiny Miracles Foundation just helps you to know that there are other people going through the same thing that you're going through.
They're in it not for the business of it, it's the heart of it. They want to make the experience for a new MICU mom or family better than it was for them.
I'm just incredibly blessed. I couldn't imagine going through what we went through without Tiny Miracles.